Hey guys, what's going on? Today we're going to watch some crazy conspiracy. So stick with me. We'll check out what these guys have to say. We're looking at some YouTube shorts here. Might check out TikTok too. I can't make any promises, but let's get into it. This guy's talking about the color blue conspiracy.
The color blue was never written down
Weird.
in like all this stuff. Like blue was never a word.
Weird.
They didn't have a word for that color?
No.
Okay.
When they would describe like the ocean
Yeah.
and stuff like that, they would describe it as like green.
What?
And yeah. And so
Weird.
the theory is if you can't connect a word with a color, can you not see that color? Because your brain, and so they did an experiment.
That's crazy.
They did an experiment in this tribe and somewhere in Africa. It was like the Bush people,
Yeah.
and they also have never heard the word blue. And so they gave this graph, and it's this graph of like 12 squares, and they're all green, right? And then there's one that's like a bluish green, very different. Like all of us would be like, oh yeah, that one's different. And they had these people look at it, and they were staring at it, and it took them so long to figure out which color was different because they don't know what to look for in the blue. They're like, find the one that's different. It was
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
And then they showed the color.
Okay, so these African tribesmen, these bush people, didn't know what the color blue was. I'm not sure. Kind of just like, cut off there, but that's kind of interesting. You know, we seeing different colors in nature. You figure, you'd have had, I mean, is he trying to suggest that the color blue didn't exist until a certain time? You like it all of a sudden everything was green and just blue just happened to appear one day. I don't know about this one. It's a little bit odd. I'm not too sure, but I don't really know like what he's trying to say here. You think, I mean, if you're a tribesman, obviously, if you're living, you're going to see the sky is blue, water, the ocean is blue. I don't know how you wouldn't know what that color would be. I'm not sure what he's trying to suggest here. Kind of interesting, kind of dumb, but yeah, we'll mark that as eyebrow raising. This is about, it just says conspiracy theory, but I'm not sure what this is all about. Let's
Theories
see.
you never thought of. A Reddit user found a black hole on Google Maps and users couldn't figure out what it was. In 1962, an Italian magazine carried a story on how the world would look in 2022.
So we all have our own personal little scooter, like rascal, like enclosed mini transportation things. Interesting. I like how even in like the 60s they still imagine the fashion to be the same. Men are still wearing fedoras and suits. Women are wearing furs and whatnot. They're just kind of like scooting around here. I mean, there's like Segway scooters, but those, didn't really become. I mean, now they have like those electric scooters. You see those guys look like razor scooters where they run on batteries. Some guy I worked with actually drove one into work for a couple miles away. I guess they're pretty efficient. Then they got like the e-bikes and stuff too. Those would be cool to own. I mean, but like, yeah, a lot more people own like personal, like electronic transportation devices. So, I mean, it's not like the whole street's not choked with them. You're not going to go down to like Detroit or New York and see like the streets just totally filled with like personal electronic transportation traffic. But that's interesting.
That's nuts. The average person walks past around 7 psychopaths every day.
You see, that's interesting. The people, like sometimes you're out in public and you kind of see somebody that looks a little bit off and kind of like, I should probably avoid this guy. But you never know who you're passing, who you're driving by, who you're eating next to in a restaurant. I mean, if you're taking public transportation, you're probably bound to run into a couple weirdos, especially like in New York or something. But yeah, it's interesting, like how many whack jobs you don't know. Some people could be thieves, some people could be murderers, some people could have like some extensive criminal records, some people could be part of some, maybe they're part of the Illuminati or something, maybe the Freemason thing. You never know. There'd be some whack job looking to sacrifice people or building an altar with like a goat head or something. You never know who you're walking past every day. It kind of creeps you out a little bit, kind of makes you a little more cautious as you're going about your day.
That might not be true. NASA's Curiosity rover discovered a strange rock formation on Mars that looks like an alien doorway. Here's a better look. Only 66% of 18 to 24-year-olds are confident the world is round.
This is still a thing. I think flat Earth theory, like a lot of other conspiracies, are fun to discuss. But there's a million ways, like Carl Sagan proved, like really easily using like shadows and whatnot, how the Earth is round. There's been multiple debunkings of this, but still, it's like flat Earth. It's like one of those things. It's like the anti-vax stuff. It's so prevalent. Like with the anti-vax stuff, all these diseases are coming back because there's so many people that refuse to vaccinate their kids because they're like convinced the government's trying to track them through these. They're gonna like inject like nanoparticles that like track people or something, or like it's part of some conspiracy. Like this is a big thing during COVID. Everybody thought the vaccines were like killing people. There was like excess COVID deaths or excess vaccine deaths and all this stuff. And now a third of Gen Z kids, like young Gen Z kids, don't think the Earth is round. So that's how pervasive this stuff gets out there. We laugh at it, but that's a big deal. Like a big amount of people like will believe this stuff like unquestioningly, just because like I think part of it is like your own life is so boring. You're trying to like find a way to spice it up, and so you kind of like believe everything you see. But yeah, this is crazy. This is crazy. I don't know. Do you have any flat Earth theories? Drop them in the replies down below, and I will laugh at you.
According to a survey. And supposedly a prisoner who died and was brought back to life claims his life sentence has technically ended. Dang. Theories.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, if you die in prison, if you have like a heart attack or something, you're technically like dead for a minute. Huh. Interesting. I don't know. It sounds ridiculous. Like a lawyer or a judge might throw that out, but still, hey, maybe he has some kind of ground for that, grounds for that. You never know. But yeah, interesting stuff. All right, we got a conspiracy theory with the lovely and talented Margot Robbie.
Oh, I don't know if you know, but in real life, you have your own conspiracy theory online. I do? Yeah, that you and Emma Mackey are the same person, and you speak French in this film.
There was another actress, Jamie something. She was real popular in the 2000s. She was in My Name is Earl, but they look very similar, like blonde woman, same kind of smile, same kind of facial structure. And what the hell was her last name? Shit, I forgot. I have to look her up. But yeah, so I've heard this a lot, like cloning and whatnot with like celebrities, or they'll have like old pictures from like the 1800s, and people look like Shia LaBeouf or Nicolas Cage or any number of celebrities. They say these people are like immortal, or they like sold their souls to be like famous forever or something like that. Like some secret organization was going around finding like peasant folk and like making them like millionaire celebrities or something that would like live for 200 years or some shit like that. Is some crazy stuff out there.
Which she is.
Her French is far better than mine. That will put the conspiracy to rest immediately.
So I don't know if you know,
Okay.
but in real life, you have your own conspiracy theory
Ali,
online.
what was her name again?
Yeah, that you.
Emma Mackey. Let's look up Emma Mackey. Okay, I'm looking at these now. They do look similar. I don't know who Emma Mackey is. I guess she's an actress or something. She's 29 years old. Emma Margaret Harry Tackard Mackey is a British and French actress. Her breakthrough performance in the next comedy drama series Sex Education earned her a British Academy Television Award. So is she Margot Robbie? I don't know. They look kind of similar. And who is that other lady that looked like her? And they were saying Jamie Presley looks like Margot Robbie too. They do look kind of similar here. Yeah, but they do look similar. They do have similar. There's one like yeah. It's interesting stuff. Okay, now we got a glitter
Because they don't want
conspiracy.
anyone to know that it's glitter. These 10 words kicked off one of the biggest internet conspiracies of all time.
Can you tell me what your biggest buyer is?
No, I absolutely know that I can't.
Okay, but you know what it is?
Oh, God, yeah, and you'd never guess it. Let's just leave it at that.
In 2018, a New York Times article went
Why would you not want to let people know who your biggest glitter customer is? Interesting. Is it like a dark conspiracy? Is it the Illuminati? Illuminati reset there.
viral when a manager at one of the largest glitter producers in the world refused to admit who their biggest client was. But another thing that really stuck out to people was this comment. Since we're a glitter manufacturer, anything we do is now called glitter. This is important because glitter was invented / discovered in the 1930s at a precision cutting factory of film and paper for clients like Kodak and Enesco. The cutting machine would occasionally glitch, tearing up the glossy photo print into schnibbles that were spat out onto the shop floor. Instead of throwing them out, some of the employees decided to use the schnibbles as fake snow in their Christmas decorations, and glitter was born. But today,
Schnibbles. I love that word. Schnibbles. Detective Schnibbles is on the case. Sounds like a fun name for a dog. Sounds like a dog food. It sounds like Schnibbles and Bits. That's pretty funny. Schnibbles. That's my new favorite word. You're going to call me Johnny Schnibbles from now on.
whoever is buying up all of the glitter is still a mystery, with some theories suggesting that it's the US military, boat paint, funeral homes, or toothpaste manufacturers, because they don't want anyone to know that it's glitter. These
What does it have? Why would toothpaste companies buy glitter? Is that just so, certain kinds of toothpaste have kind of like a shiny look to them. It looks like there's glitter in it a little bit. But like, why would a funeral home buy glitter? Is somebody like celebrating their like mother-in-law dying? Like, yay, Gladys is dead. Whee! I don't understand. Is there some kind of like application other than just like being like a party thing? You know how glitter, I remember this back in high school. I remember like somebody was throwing glitter around one of the classrooms, and it was just like, it was a pain in the ass. Had like vacuum it up. It was all over the desks and the carpet and stuff. And it's just kind of funny. That shit gets everywhere, man. It gets everywhere. But I mean, it's like a multi-million-dollar industry, I guess, just like producing this like glittering sand shit. So I don't know, man. That's interesting. I'll mark that as interesting. We got a Michael Jackson conspiracy here.
The world's scariest conspiracy theories. Here we have conspiracy theories from the most well-known to the darkest, and today we're going to be starting off with tier 1. And the first conspiracy theory is Michael Jackson may not be dead after all.
I heard this. I heard there was like another guy. He did that interview. I think it was with Larry King, or like there was a guy like dressed up like Michael. He was like apparently a friend of Michael Jackson, but the guy was like wearing makeup, and we all know Michael Jackson would wear like, special like prop outfits and like disguise himself sometimes. And it was like rumored that this guy was actually Michael Jackson giving this interview after Michael Jackson officially died. But I've heard this before.
And this theory starts out with Michael being at his own funeral in disguise, wearing prosthetics and makeup to cover up. Believe it or not, but Michael has done this before to disguise himself from the paparazzi. There was also no open casket at his funeral, which means nobody ever saw his corpse. Now in this video, you can see the ambulance that took Michael to the hospital, but when they got there, a figure that looked almost identical to him hopped out looking perfectly fine. Also, his daughter uploaded this photo in 2016, and in the back seat, you can see a figure that looks like Michael sitting there. Finally, Michael's middle name is spelled differently on his death certificate than it is on his ID and even passport.
Okay, that's wild stuff, man. Is Michael Jackson still alive? Who knows? I mean, after that, like, child assault case, I remember that in 2005. That's been 20 years since that was a thing, but it was crazy. All these people were talking about it. It was all over the news. Everybody, I mean, if Twitter was a thing back then, it would have been all over Twitter. But this is this 20 damn years ago, but that had to have done irreparable damage to him, and I know he was proven innocent. And a lot of that stuff was a bunch of bullshit. Like a lot of it was just absolute falsehoods and just like hearsay and conjecture and whatnot. I mean, the world's biggest pop star being like a kid diddler, that horrified people, absolutely horrified people. That was a huge news story, but how do you come back from that? How do you recover from that? I don't know. I mean, if I was Michael Jackson, I'd probably fake my death. I mean, that's almost kind of believable. It's almost like a plausible theory in a way. So, we'll mark that as Are these conspiracies real or fake? Let's find out.
These real or fake?
I heard Australia was wider than the moon, which kind of freaks me out a little bit.
The moon itself? I know about the moon landing conspiracy, but I never considered the possibility that the moon itself could be fake. That's interesting.
That's like a flat Earth thing. They think like, or is it like Earth is flat, but space is real, or like the moon is a hologram, or the moon is like some kind of secret base the Illuminati built. I know I'm bringing up the Illuminati or not. It's just like, you know, standard issue conspiracy stuff. But I've heard a lot of theories about the moon, a lot of weird stuff that it's holding something up there. It's like a secret base for the military or the deep state or George Soros or whoever. But I've heard a lot of this kind of stuff. We'll have to explore that in a later video. But Bill Gates is evil. That's not a conspiracy. The dude's buying up tons of farmland. God knows what he wants to do with it. He probably wants to. He wants to put brain chips in us and shit. You never know. Not that I'm one of those people, but you know, interesting stuff.
I could see Bill Gates being a supervillain. I know he dabbles in some pretty sketchy stuff. Then he hides behind his philanthropy.
Wasn't he one of Epstein's buddies? There's so many people connected to Epstein. It's absolutely insane.
As a front. I remember hearing about this when it first came out, so to like suppress the theories that Walt Disney is frozen, they wanted to alter the search results for Disney Frozen. It's pretty smart if true.
Yeah, I heard that too. I heard that was like a gag on Family Guy like 30 or like 25 years ago. That's just some wild stuff. It's just like, is Walt Disney like? Are they going to revive him at some point? You know, you never know. Is he like in a cryo chamber somewhere? That's an old conspiracy theory. Obviously, it's been around forever.
I wouldn't put it past them.
HARP, yeah, look up HARP, HHARP, and they're saying it's like some big device the government uses to like make hurricanes with and shit. I mean, look that stuff up. There's some wild stuff out there. They're saying like, I don't know if earthquakes or like forest fires are responsible too, or if that's like direct energy weapons from space. They're saying that those are causing like natural disasters and floods and hurricanes, or like no, the space lasers are causing forest fires, but HARP is causing like earthquakes and hurricanes. So there's all these like devices the government uses to like cause damage. I don't know why, but you know, just some interesting stuff.
Maybe they like send us a hurricane every now and then to distract us. You need some journalists to like map out every major hurricane and then also every major world event just to see. Industry plants are obviously real, like Ice Spice and that one interview girl. They're everywhere.
Oh yeah, what's her name? Bobby Altoff. She was like some flavor of the month like interview girl. She was like really snarky and like sarcastic, and then like people just got tired of her shtick, and now she like left her family. She had like 2 kids and a husband, and she left her family to do this like. She was like hanging out with all these rappers, and eventually everybody just got sick of her. She kind of ruined her own life. She was a big Instagram. She was like an Instagram mom influencer. And then people just got sick of her, but she was totally an industry plant. People say like Post Malone is an industry plant. And I like his music, even though I'm kind of like, I don't know what he's doing trying to be a country star now, but there's a lot of guys that come along and are just like, where'd you come from? Why are you so popular? You could say Taylor Swift. I don't want to piss off Swifties, but you know, Taylor Swift, her dad was like a record producer or something, or her dad was like a multimillionaire that got her first contract and stuff like that. Obviously, she's a billionaire, super mega celebrity now, but you got to wonder where these people come from. And, you know, just like, but you get all these people that come out there, they have a few hit songs like Ice Spice, like her star is kind of faded now. People just get sick of it. They have a short shelf life. And you got to wonder, like, where do these people come from? They're just coming off an assembly line. Because every week there's some new rapper out there called like Little Twingus or something. And like, they come out, they have like a couple hit TikTok songs, and then they disappear. So this is not really a conspiracy to me. It's pretty much, it's a real thing.
At this point, rocks aren't soft until touched. That can't be real. That's like a tree falling down in a forest doesn't make a sound unless somebody's around. Kind of dumb. And then, I mean, I've never actually met a Finnish person. Are these conspiracies?
Okay, let's finish with that one. Interesting stuff. But let's check out a couple more here.
You know what the
Okay, we're getting into Rogan territory. Let's see what he has to say.
darkest conspiracy theory about aliens is? I don't know if I'm ready for it. That Earth is essentially a farm, and human beings are the vessels that contain souls, and they want us because this is how they create souls. And so they're farming us. They've created us. So we started off as primates, and through some sort of genetic intervention, I'm not saying I believe this. I'm just saying that this is like top of the food chain, put your tinfoil hat on super tight, that they farm us, and that the whole reason why human beings are involved in this conflict, constant conflict, it's all of it is to increase our competition with each other, increase our ability to control resources, which will increase our technology, which will ultimately lead to us creating this being that we're going to create.
Is it like an AI thing? Is that what he's talking about? I've heard like kind of theories, like you hear like Jacob, whatever his name is. He's like some black scientist, some ancient black scientist that created white people and made them like, I don't know, evil and racist, I guess. But it's like there's all this goofy stuff out there, all these conspiracies out there, like where did humans really come from? Where did DNA come from? How did we evolve and all this stuff? And there's all sorts of stuff about that, talking about this kind of stuff. And I mean, maybe he's kind of going like humans kind of create their own God in a way. Like some people are saying like AI is going to become so powerful it'll destroy us all. Maybe that's what we're talking about here. But like, what is the purpose of life? Asking these kinds of questions, because you think about it and you're just working some 9 to 5 and you're just like, getting by day after day, just trying to do your own thing. And it gets kind of ridiculous. And you're just wondering, is there more to life than this? More to life than just waking up and eating breakfast and going to work and coming home and taking a shit and watching Netflix till you fall asleep? Is there more to life than that, than just paying bills and working 40 hours a week? What's the purpose? I mean, if humans were manufactured, I mean, what's this like? Are we just like living in some big ant farm or something? An alien ant farm? You never know. Shout out to Alien Ant Farm. But yeah, you don't know this kind of stuff. It's kind of crazy. That's going to do it for me. Thanks for watching me dissect some of these crazy conspiracies. Hope you enjoyed it. I know I enjoyed it. Might make some more videos like this in the future. I don't know yet. I don't know if I want to be a conspiracy guy, but got to get views somehow. So let me know your thoughts in the replies in the comment section down below. You can visit my Cash App link to give me some money because I am desperately poor. And obviously, I'm wasting away to nothing. But yeah, thank you again for watching, and I will talk to you guys later.